What's good, family? Welcome to another episode of An Honest Conversation about hip-hop. It is your boy, Hip-Hop Old Head, a.k.a. D. Moraney, a.k.a. Hip-Hop's Uncle Phil. And as always, tonight with me, I have the one and only.
It's your boy, Sean Capone, the greatest rapper never known. We over here shaking to this 7.1. Popping and rolling, baby.
Earthquake, man. And we're not talking about the comedian.
Not Comic View, motherfucker.
Cali definitely shaking, but 7.1 is...
That's heavy, man.
It's heavy, but it was light work. I mean, we were here chilling. It wasn't nothing major. It shook a little bit. You know, I'm sure that when you shaking up the house, doing your due, I'm sure that you hitting hot harder than the 7.1.
Yeah, but this shit was like for 5 minutes. That's about the standard time as
well. So they waiting for aftershocks. Baby mama's waiting for aftershocks. Huh?
No aftershocks. No aftershocks. Yeah, I gotta get that one out, and then you know what I mean. We're gonna bring the Tokyo quakes after the fact. You know what I mean?
So the first one's a little.
Yeah, my get
sprint,
off, my get off, or you know, to start out of the gate, that game not strong.
You're like an untested fighter. You got to get your second wind.
Yeah, we got to get to round 2 or 3, get in the rhythm and shit like that, and then we get into into the mix.
All right. Well, I got the champ with me here tonight.
Champ Bailey,
as always. Yeah, Champ Bailey, co-host extraordinaire, the one and only.
Big Boo, what he do?
Man, not much, man. We are back. We took last week off just to chill, kind of relax. A whole lot of shit happened, but we back to go ahead and discuss that. So first and foremost, shout out to everybody who's supporting us, everybody who's rocking with us. Big ups to Philadelphia. If you listen to us on Big Bad Radio, you tuned in. We appreciate you. As always, you can find us on LibSyn as we await everything to be transitioned over back to iTunes, Spotify. You can still fuck with us on Spotify. But for right now, Facebook and LibSyn or YouTube is definitely where you can go ahead and find us. So, fellas, BET Awards were last week in Los Angeles. Actually, it was 2 weeks ago in Los Angeles. Big uproar in regards to people not really feeling the awards, feeling they're kind of dry, kind of lost their luster. And my question to you guys basically is just your thoughts in regards to the BET Hip Hop Awards, what they represent now in 2020, and if you were given the opportunity, what would you change about BET Hip Hop Awards?
I think everything is so in the now right now, and the attention spans and everything is a lot shorter. So I think with the show itself, everybody is trying to just see specific clips of specific artists performing and just kind of just getting into the meat and potatoes. You know, they don't want all the extra shit, and I just think that's just the way society is right now. And I mean the BET Awards. I mean it is controlled by Viacom, you know what I mean? So, they're not in depth with the culture. So, you know what I mean? Like, they're just going to put out, the most commercial shit that, they know of and, keep it at that. So, I think it's lost its sting and interest as far as what it used to be. But I think, everything has changed with society.
I definitely agree. I think they definitely are no longer the thing. I mean, I don't know. I guess my next question is, were the awards ever the thing? Was there ever a point in time when people were extremely hyped for the BET Awards? I'm gonna ask you that, Pooh, because I mean, you're always in touch with the culture, as far as whether it's some obscure artist you've never heard of before, or somebody more in the mainstream. So, I mean, somebody like yourself, is that something that you would have ever been checking out or worried about?
Well, back in the day, I fuck with the BET Awards, along with like the Source Awards, all that type of stuff. It was like giving a platform for artists who wouldn't get an award anywhere else to actually get some shit to shine. You know what I mean? It catered to the people, so to speak.
Right.
But it's kind of weird, BET was sold to Viacom or however that goes, and then with the explosion of social media, it's kind of like all those artists who you would like wait to see at BET. You can see them on a daily basis on social media. So you know you don't really have to tune into a award show. You can see this nigga shucking and jiving 24/7.
You mentioned BT at one point getting sold to Viacom and shit. If I'm off the top of my head, I'd write the shit down. I think they got sold in what was it, like 2001. So
damn, it's been that long.
It's been that year. So
motherfuckers are legally able to vote and shit like
right,
that.
Right. So we're talking about 18, almost 19 years ago that they were sold. So that's a big thing for me is I don't get why people still think BET is supposed to be us. You know what I mean? When it's ran by Viacom, like you said, and you can see from the moment shit was sold, you can see how it's changed and has reversed and is now kind of giving us the ugliness of the culture. Really no content. You know what I mean? There's no more news programs like there used to be. You know, what was old light-skinned, green-eyed
Donnie Simpson.
Well, Donnie Simpson, but remember they used to have that nightly BT.
Tavis.
It wasn't Tavis, but it was some other brother that looked like he was an extra in New Jack City with Christopher Williams or whatever. I forget what dude's name was. He used to wear the gray suit or whatever. But I mean, it's completely changed, and so now they're pushing some of the worst music. And when it talks about hip hop, so I just don't understand why people expect anything different year after year, you know. And now they've been on a run where they've been pushing some bullshit. Now, I mean, at least I'm gonna say the last 5 award shows have been utter bullshit. You know what I mean? You don't even get the major stars to come out. Kendrick's not rocking. You know, Cole's not, you know, none of the people that are the biggest stars are rocking. You know, it's all of these like kind of mid-level or, you know, the people who will have something to push at the time, you know. So what would you guys do differently? Let's say you had the opportunity, you had the budget to run one of these award shows. What would your ideas be to make it more of a true, you know, hip-hop award show? And it's not even that, just maybe a hip-hop celebration for the year.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily do hip hop. I would just make it a musical celebration, and I would bring in some of the older heads, so these younger heads can, you know, understand the importance of performing and how to do it live. Yeah. You know, and not to outdo them, but you know, just to go ahead and you know, up the levels of the music and the performances. So I mean, I would intertwine it. And then that way you're getting both demographics of the youngsters and you're getting, you know, the old folks. So, you know, then it's definitely an entertaining show, you know, not just one-sided. So I would go ahead and combine it and you know, make it, you know, not necessarily co-ed, but, you know, just getting all artists there and try to make it interactive again. You said, like you said, J, B, or Beyonce's not going to bring them back into the fold, and you know what I mean. Let's pay homage to the old heads that make this shit possible for motherfuckers to make money and shit like that. Let's pay dues, and let's give the youngsters their time to shine as well.
Yeah. What about you, Pooh? What you think about that?
Well, I agree. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of changes. You know what I mean? Because I actually didn't watch the show.
Right.
I did see a highlight that I guess Mary J got like a achievement,
like a lifetime achievement award, which
you know,
is well deserved.
Exactly. So I can't hate on that.
Right.
So I would say, you know, off the top of my head, maybe do more of that. You know,
yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, there's a BET Awards and then there's also a Hip Hop Award.
Right.
You know, in the hip hop one, you know, the last time I saw that, it basically they just had like the freestyles or what they call freestyles these days.
Right.
But
ciphers or whatever.
Yeah. So I don't know. I would think try to get the big artists to come back. I mean, that's what is lacking. There's no star power. It's basically like the people on the red carpet and the people that they're catering to are more like social media stars.
Right.
You know, internet celebrities. So it's like kind of like, do you want to break your neck to see them, or you can go see them on live before they even get to the show and see what they're wearing and all that? It's like our attention spans are so much shorter now because you have access to everybody whenever you want to look at them. You know what I mean? So I think it's sort of hard just with programming in general. Like for instance, you know, with BET as a network, I can't even tell you on cable networks what channel it is, what the programming is. I haven't watched this shit in so many years.
I'm with you.
You know what I mean? Like I remember in the younger days, you know, they had educational shit. Like you would see, you know, I forgot the name of the show with Ananda on there or whatever her name was, doing shit.
Street Soldiers or whatever.
She was doing, or you know, Fly Ass Rachel on Caribbean River,
man.
like all that type of programming is gone. You know what I mean? So it's like just I don't know. It's just a low budget MTV, which I haven't seen in years either. Like,
Right.
I don't know. It's just a different day and age. I don't really know if it could be saved because BET is trash. It used to stand for something because we didn't have an outlet. But like I said, now social media is, and internet generation is our entertainment. So why do you even got to go there?
Right. Now, I feel you, and it's crazy because you said star power, and I think that's BET's slogan, right? Black star power, and that's it. It's like it's black B-list celebrities.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That fuck with it. You know what I mean? I mean, and I remember it was just a few years ago. It was like, I think they had TV One, or there was a new outlet for people of color to be able to watch TV. And I was thinking, after watching TV One, and I want to say I saw like 9 Martin reruns in a row, I'm like, this is the same shit that they're doing on BET. Like, you know, how far has BET fallen? You know, and once Bob Johnson sold that shit, that was pretty much, you know, one of the big things that I think has not only changed culture for us in a negative way, but you know, just musically, but I also think it has had an impact on us as people when it comes to people of color, not having that place to go get, as you said, Tavis earlier, and having it in one place. Most people are not going to go look to PBS to find Tavis Smiley, you know what I mean? Because they don't want to, you know, turn the channel and have to watch the French dude cook a fucking geese or some shit like that. You know, they want to see shit that they are comfortable with, that you know, that resonates with them. And you know, PBS a lot of times is not going to do that. So I think, that step back of BET has really hurt folks in different areas, in my opinion. What I don't want to see BET do, which they do now with these award shows, like you mentioned, the Hip Hop Honors, is listen, don't bring any of these cats that don't know anything about the history up to do a song. Like, don't bring, like they did this shit with Biggie. I forgot who they brought out. They brought out one of these little, you know, young thug. It wasn't Young Thug, but it was one of these young motherfuckers, and this motherfucker didn't know the verse. They gave it to him. You know what I'm saying? Remember that shit?
I forgot the Watch Homie Quan.
Yeah.
Or
No,
Rich Homie Quan.
Rich Homie Quan. So they bring out Rich Homie Quan, and according to him, he got the verse 10 minutes before, you know, he got on stage, which at that I had a hard time believing that. But then we were watching the NBA draft, and I don't know if you saw the segment where they brought in all the kids that were born in the 90s, or I think they're in the 90s, born in the 90s, and asked them who the fuck Outkast was, and they had no idea. They had no idea. And we're talking about one of the greatest, you know, duos, groups, or whatever.
90, what is it, 98, 99?
Big
So I mean,
hits.
they were.
Yeah, but you have no idea who that is, though. It's crazy, you know. Like I know that we could have identified a picture of the fucking Temptations or Gladys Knight and the Pips back in our days, right? You know, we could have done that. So, you know, stop that portion of honoring people. If you're gonna honor somebody, honor them the right way. Bring in people that, you know, actually are fans of their music and want to fuck with them. Just don't give everybody the opportunity to jump on stage and really fuck up some you know, some shit, because there's a lot of people that still need to be honored by hip hop in general, whether it's BET or not. So if you're gonna do it, make sure you do that shit right. But yeah, I agree with you, man. I just don't think BET is relevant anymore. You know, as you said, Pooh, we have other platforms we can go to. We don't need BET. And as you alluded to, Sime, they just don't get it. And I don't know who's running it, but they need to get some other people in there.
It's a lady.
So it is a lady?
It's a lady.
No, I forgot. I know you're talking about the sisters, bro.
Yeah, they need to. So I don't know what her age is, don't know what her background is, but they really need to get in some people that understand where the pulse of the culture is now. And you could do so much to change the channel and make it a tool that could be utilized within the community, other than just some shit. Oh, Baby Boy's on again.
Fucking Game and all that bullshit ass.
It's just
shows.
You know, it's crazy movies, man. Crazy movies that you don't want to watch on a regular day. Why the fuck I want to watch? What was that shit with the Game where he had to go find his kid or some shit like that? It was the Game and Tyrese, I think.
Yeah.
Like, that shit was on there like for 4 hours straight the other day. I was like, this did like $6 in the theater. It's like nobody wanted to see Tyrese.
I forgot about that shit.
Up. Caught Up? Was it called Caught Up or some bullshit? It was bullshit.
I know you talking about.
You know that shit was bullshit.
Tyrese and Megan Good and
shit. Yeah. Tyrese over here fisticuffs with the Game and shit. Get out of here with that, man. So speaking of wild shit, America's Sweetheart. for 14 weeks, 15 weeks. He just broke Eminem's record for the longest running #1 hip hop song. So Lose Control or Lose Yourself, whatever the fuck that name of that Eminem song is, out of here. Yeah. And so now it's been replaced by Country Road. So Lil Nas X, salute to him for 15 weeks in a row with the #1 song. So this past few days ago, he's got his little EP, 7-track EP, pops up online, says, hey guys, you missed it. Track number 7 is where I, basically let everybody know how I feel about myself or whatever. People read into it, and so supposedly he comes out as a homosexual. So I was originally going to ask you guys, did we think this was just for show? But this morning, he's over in the UK. I don't know how the United Kingdom be opening niggas up to say crazy shit. And not crazy, but he went on some show in the UK, their version of Good Morning America, kind of, and confirmed that he is in fact homosexual. So my question to you, is this a rap for Lil Nas X in today's climate? And I'm asking because A, if he's going to continue to make country music, which we don't think he's going to because we've heard the project and that wasn't too much country on that, but being black and being gay in the country genre on that side of the world is pretty
strikes,
much that's pretty much 2 strikes, right? But now him at the top of the game, I mean, is this a rap for him? I mean, can he continue to make the type of music he's going to make that's going to appeal to everybody? Or is this a situation where, people are just like, all right, this is it. Nothing more we can do with you.
I don't think it's going to affect him at all.
Not really? You don't?
I think the climate has changed. By him coming out, if you notice, it wasn't even an outrage. It was kind of like some people kind of saw it coming, or people got into protection mode. Like
there was a lot of protection, yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't talk about it. But at the same time, I know music is supposed to be organic, and the song took off. It doesn't really surprise me when people make it that big, that fast. It might have been some backdoor deal going on. And I'm not talking about The Office.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, you laugh, Simon, but I mean, that's just real shit when we have to digest and break it down because we know that this does definitely happen in the industry. It's been talked about from Quincy Jones to Tupac, fucking Cat Williams. Is that you, Mr. Ogilvy? You know what I mean? So, I mean, we're not at all trying to bash anyone, but this is an honest conversation about hip-hop, and we're going to have an honest conversation. So, was this kid an industry plant that was put in a certain situation, knowing these are the records that we have, this is going to help you blow up, and then he chooses to, reveal his sexuality? Or was it something that the label knew of ahead of time and said, look, we're going to put out these records, people are going to love you, then we're going to come out and say that, reveal your truth that you're homosexual, and hopefully this propels you to further stardom. I mean, what's your thoughts on that side?
Yeah, I mean, they knew of it, and when they were going to lay it out, I don't know if they had that scheduled, you know what I mean? But they knew of his sexuality and how they were going to push it. I don't know if they knew that the song was going to be as big of a hit as it was, but I don't think it's going to have any bearing to his future success. Like Pooh said, the climate has changed and everybody is more accepting, of people's sexuality. What the thing I don't like is, I mean, if he's an artist and things of that nature, and the one thing I wouldn't say I have beef with, but I disagree with the community is that why is sexuality so important in 2019? You know what I mean? Like, how do you explain this shit to your 5-year-old son or daughter or, babies that have, no knowledge of sexuality? You know what I mean? And I don't think that they should press it, especially with the hit. It's more of a known track to the kids than to anybody. So I think that if you're going to do what you do, that's your business. Nobody's tripping on that stuff, but I don't think that the way they rolled it out and pressed it, I don't think that that's proper.
And I'm agree with you on that one. That's a big head scratcher to me, is because we know that Old Town Road was something that was not a song that was going to be geared towards older people. I'm surprised it even clicked with the country folks, just because it's a really corny song. It's catchy, but it's really corny. And when we see the videos, we see these kids, or he's performing at grammar schools, and they're going crazy, man. Thanks to you, my 5-year-old son likes the song. You know what I mean? So that's my thought process. Was it the label? I mean, obviously they back him to allow him to say that, but I think that's where it's really going to hamper his career, because where do you go now? You know what I mean? Like, what type of music do you make?
But he's a safe act. So I mean, it really doesn't,
But can you be safe and gay?
Yeah,
music.
As long as he's not Michael Sam on ESPN on the NFL draft, kissing motherfuckers on live television. You know what I mean? If he keeps it discreet. You know what I mean? Like, if he's not at the little strip club and shit like that, making it rain, making
it rain strip club, making it rain in videos.
As long as he's not doing all that extra shit, you know what I mean? Which I think him coming out is a little extra, but he's gonna have to do the rest of this shit tastefully. I think he still has a chance to capitalize. I mean, will he be around in the next 5 years? I don't know artistically if he's that dope, but he can definitely capitalize and at least run with this shit for at least another year or two and continue to ride the wave. But I don't think he's done. He can make more money.
I mean, I kind of look at it like you said, he broke Eminem's record or whatever. But I don't consider that shit hip hop, so I don't really think it's gonna affect him, because if he was like hardcore hip hop, then he would be through.
He'd be through.
But he's more pop, so you know what I mean. He'll be okay. Like Simon said, as long as it's not like where he's out there like promoting the lifestyle, I think he should be okay. But there's plenty of gay artists out here, or artists who we suspected of being gay their entire career, but they never showed it or revealed it. We couldn't hold that shit against Prince.
Right. So I'm glad that you said that, because again, no Heavy D slander on the podcast. Definitely no Prince slander. So here's a fun fact. There is, and I want you to check, I've never heard this Mobb Deep record before, but there is a Mobb Deep record that supposedly has Snoop on it, where Prince played the keys on the Mobb Deep record. Havoc was on, what's the show with fucking Noriega? The podcast.
Drink Champs.
Drink Champs. He was on Drink Champs, and he was asking about his wildest studio appearances or studio stories, and he was talking about the most memorable. They asked about what are the most saddest. He's talking about people dying, car crashes, shit like that. But they said, what's your most memorable as far as positive? They said they were somewhere in New York. They were there. Someone said, Prince is in the fucking studio. And Havoc was like, whatever, he's in the studio, cool, whatever. So he's in the middle of making some track, and it was re-released on one of these lost, some shit you probably have on a hard drive somewhere, Pooh, some unreleased shit or whatever. But
I already know what you're talking about. I didn't even hear the interview.
But you know the song, though?
Look, I've only heard 2 songs with Mobb Deep
and Snoop.
There was one on the second Eastsiders, which I didn't really fuck with them, but I know the track with them. But in like the year 2000, when Snoop Dogg dropped The Last Meal, you know how back in the day you used to have albums that come out before the album, and you're like, oh, okay, so unreleased shit. I first heard it. It was a song called "Thou Shalt Not Kill." The chorus was from, if you remember the old movie The Lost Boys,
Thou Shalt Not Kill. That's it.
They redid it, and Snoop and Trey D was on there with Mobb Deep, and it never came out. And I thought it was going to be on the Murder Music soundtrack of the movie that Prodigy made. Yeah, that's the track I'm thinking. So that's it.
That's it. So Prince actually played the keys on that. So let me tell you how dope the fucking GOAT is. Comes in, don't dap anybody, according to Havoc. Doesn't dap anybody, sits down, plays the keys, and just leaves. Havoc was like, this nigga didn't even say bye. He just came in, came and played the keys, was like, I'm out this piece. Nigga, I'm Prince. So, that has nothing to do with anything, but
just a little nugget.
Just a little nugget. Little nuggets we drop.
I think it's dope that organically niggas knew what the track was and everything.
Yeah.
This is real hip hop.
Yeah, no, this is what we do. So, we just ain't here talking shit. This is what we do.
I could actually take it a little bit further. Something that I don't promote no more. I used to always tell y'all about my bootlegs and B-side page.
Yes, definitely.
If you visit that page, the track is on there.
Is it? All right. So go ahead and give him the breakdown. It's on IG. Go ahead and break that.
It's so long, I don't even remember how I spelled this shit.
It was BOOTN Bootlegs, BOOTLE. I think it was 2 G's and a Z. I'll put it in the bio when this shit drops, so you can go ahead and follow that page, because Pooh has a lot of gems that he was dropping while he was promoting the page.
I got it right here. It's actually BOOTLEGZNBSIDEZ.
So go ahead and follow that, Bootlegs and B-Sides, for all, like I said, some bootlegs and B-Sides, shit you probably have never heard of, didn't know existed, that you would definitely think is dope as fuck. And who know? I didn't know Pooh had it on his page the whole time. So yeah.
What day is it, Pooh? We'll give you the fucking date.
It's April 15th. No, August 15th, 2018.
2018.
So a year ago. So
almost,
you know this shit is organic. It was a year ago.
Almost a year ago. So follow, so you can get schooled, youngsters out there who are listening. So speaking of youngsters, let's talk about the old heads, us. It's a good time right now for old heads. You know, Benny dropped his shit 2 weeks ago. I know Benny's not an old head, but he makes old head music, in my opinion. Freddie Gibbs and Madlib, man, Dana is great. You know, I love it. I love the production. Yeah, it sounds old. I like it because it sounds
old. Some of it does, man. But I'm gonna tell you what I didn't like
the trap shit.
Is that with Madlib, brilliant fucking sampling producer, brilliant. Yeah. Like some of them samples are just sick as fuck. And Gibbs did his thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Gibbs is not a whack MC at all by any means. He is dope as fuck. But them trap beats is just, you know, certain producers get out of their element, and I just like that shit did not go, and it was just all thrown together. You know what I mean? And I think they could have came with a lot more better material.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So there was two songs on there that I definitely, when they were the trappier joints, I wasn't feeling. Everything else, I was definitely rocking with it. And the only reason I wasn't really feeling the trap joints, I didn't like Gibbs' delivery on those tracks. It sounded a little sped up.
But, it remind me, you know, Gibbs remind me of his. You gonna laugh, but I was listening to shit today. You remind me of Crazy Bone without the harmonizer.
Oh yeah, definitely on that trap. Yeah, definitely on that. I forget what the name of the one record is, but on that record he has a very Crazy Bone flow. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about, but Dreamville dropped their Revenge of the Dreamers. Again, not old heads, but they make old head type of music. And then West Side Gun just dropped the Fly God 3 or 4, whatever it is. So, and I know I'm forgetting about some other people that have dropped music recently, but the thing that bothers me is as old heads, we do a lot of ranting. Especially when we talk about, hey man, Old Town Country Road, fuck that, that's whack. Tekashi 6ix9ine, fuck that, that's whack. All these albums out, and I don't see where the old heads at singing the praises or being, as you just said, giving an honest opinion on you're not feeling Gibbs overall, but it's just like it's kind of out there. You kind of got to know where to go to have these old heads discuss this shit. But it's not in the forefront, where if this was some young head shit, the old heads would be in the forefront talking to gang of shit. So I'm going to start with you, Pooh. What have you heard that's out there, and what are your thoughts on projects that we've talked about, and then also the support that these projects are getting?
Well, it's kind of hard because, like you said, there's no praise for the projects of the shit that we actually like.
Right.
I mean, you gotta basically be in the old nigga network to even know that the shit is out.
That's for real,
you know
yeah.
I mean? It's real. I mean, the biggest shit that I seen recently that kind of exploded, well, maybe because I'm, you know, in tune with certain artists, that I was kind of surprised, like, damn, a lot of people reposting and talking about it, is the Lost Tapes 2 from Nas is coming. And
yeah.
I've seen a lot of people talking about that.
Yeah,
I'm kind of anticipating that too. I don't know. It's a tricky thing, man. It's like when these new artists come out, people catch their feelings if somebody didn't repost that your shit is dropping this and that. But when the old cats drop music, nobody seems to give a fuck. You know what I mean? And I really don't. I really can't answer that question.
Yeah.
It's kind of like old nigga shit. Even if it's a mainstream artist, is now the new underground, and you gotta scrape and scratch to even find it.
I'll tell you what. I mean, in my opinion, I'll tell you what it is a lot of the older heads, they're still running with the same formula as far as these motherfuckers ain't dropping albums. There's no conceptual theme behind the album.
Right.
It's just fucking mixtapes. You know what I mean? So that's what they're running with. Is just fucking mixtapes. So there's really no direction and shit. I listen to both Freddie Gibbs and I listen to fucking Benny today, and you got two talented artists, but it's the same fucking record. You know what I mean? As far as the concept of what the fuck they're talking about, there's no changing it. It's the same fucking story. You know what I mean? And it's 50, or well, no, not even 50. We'll say an hour and some change of the same shit. Yeah, they deliver differently, but it's the same thing. So I just think that, you know, motherfuckers don't get hyped up because there's no albums being made. Everything is so, again, ADHD fucking driven. You know, 3 minutes, hot single, and push it. There's no more singles. The visuals and shit like that. Shit is done totally different now. So it's like you got to be a true fan of this shit for you to check this shit out. So,
let me ask you, because we talked about, I think, Griselda on the last show, and who you were saying because they're aligned with Eminem, it's going to be really hard to push them to certain people who don't fuck with Eminem. I'm starting to agree with you on that, because my thing was I didn't really see any promotion from Shady Aftermath in regards to Griselda's shit. I mean, now we have Benny come out, and now we have the Fly God. I didn't even know the Fly God Westside Gun shit was dropping. I saw some shit on YouTube. I was like, well, how the fuck did this just get on YouTube, where we knew Revival or whatever the fuck, Recovery or something with an R, we knew Eminem's last shit, Kamikaze or whatever, was coming, but we had no idea that these projects, unless, like Pooh said earlier, and you said you're plugged into this artist. So is it you just feel that at this point, industry in total has given up on old heads and just is like, fuck it? Like,
I think monetarily it's a dead genre, if you want to call it that. Like, there's no money behind it. With the Griselda cats, I said that I actually thought it was probably better for them to not be so linked to Shady, because I think it would affect their sales. Right. You know, being like, you know, main underground kind of works these days. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you kind of straddling the fence a little bit. But I agree. Like, there's no promotion for that type of music. I don't know. Maybe because everything is on streaming platform, they kind of look at artists to get out there and use social media to push your shit. You know what I mean? So I really can't call it. There is no music networks on TV who's gonna play music that's catered to what we like. So everything is basically social media and YouTube.
I mean, everything, the budget and all that shit has changed because they're not spending money on more. I promise you, marketing budgets are, you know, 80% lower than what they were 10 years ago. You know, and they're not pushing any of the music for the radio. You know, like none of these cats are getting radio play or any of that. So.
No, I don't think Gibbs and especially Griselda's not making radio music, and I don't think Griselda will ever get to that point where they're making radio music. Because I think they do that, they lose their entire fan base. Yeah. You know, and I think that's a crash and burn mission in my opinion. Speaking of old heads, Snoop is releasing another album, Thank You to Me or some shit like that, on through his own label or whatever. So that's still interesting. You know, we've talked about not wanting to hear another record from Snoop, but he continues to go ahead and release these records. Ice Cube's last shit didn't go over too well. You know, I'm trying to think of who else is still out there. Supposedly DMX and Busta Rhymes are in the studio working on something. I don't even, you know, that might have been a dream project 15 years ago, but I don't know if I want to hear that now. Maybe on a track.
But man, even they can squeak one out. You know what I mean? I know they can squeak one out.
So let's say they go 10 tracks. You gonna really listen to a 10-track DMX and Busta Rhymes album?
I don't listen to worse. Shit, I gotta listen to bullshit for the show. You know what I mean? Like
T Grizzly or T Greasy. What was that shit that Mike had us listening to last week?
I was ready to kill his ass, man. Like fuck. Yeah, that shit was terrible.
I had no idea that Silk had like spawned a whole group of niggas who can't rap on beats. Like, no, for real, that's a tree that there's a Gucci Man tree. Like, hip hop continues to develop. Like, we've talked about how many sons that Gucci has out there. We need to now go back and we need to acknowledge Silk the Shocker because he's got a whole bunch of little
understudies and shit.
I apologize to anybody who deals with this in real life, but there's a lot of retarded rap niggas that Silk the Shocker is the father of.
Yellow bus rappers.
Yeah,
and shit.
Blueface, this T Greasy kid. There was a whole bunch of, when you listen to these cats now, again, it's like they recorded at their house and just threw the beat to the producer and said, go ahead and make it work, man. But
so what's worse to y'all? Because I posted this shit a few years ago, but what's worse to y'all personally? Artist that's off beat or somebody that's not lyrical? They're on beat, but they're not lyrical.
Off beat. That's why I can't even get with Chicano rap.
Yeah, that shit is so frustrating because motherfucker to ride the beat, you know what I mean?
And
like,
I've tried as somebody who's half Puerto Rican and Mexican. I've tried just to represent, and it's so fucking hard. It is so hard. You know what I mean? And so now with these cats, it's like it's infuriating because you're listening to it. Like we're listening to the T Greasy kid and whatever his little track was or whatever. He said a nice bar. And then he came back and killed the whole song by saying something. I think it was that he put up 30 shots like Steph Curry and he got $30,000 like Steph. It's frustrating, man. So to me, definitely. Pooh, it's offbeat. You agree?
Oh yeah. I'm always been hip hop goes all kind of different directions. Other than just pure lyricism, I kind of like just the way people write the beat, like I've been a style fan. That's why like I could listen to certain music and you be like, man, that nigga ain't talking about shit, but it's just the vibe of the track, the way that he's writing and shit. It makes it listenable or it's tolerable.
Right.
Sometimes people are actually dope at that little way of, you know what I mean? Yeah. So you can perfect that shit. So definitely, people off beat is like I'm even though a lot of hip hop these days it ain't even like head bobbing music, but I'm bobbing my head to the way a nigga spin his lyrics and then he fuck up my step like I'm a 49-year-old college professor trying to dance to hip hop. Like I'm thrown the fuck off. He's fucked my whole rhythm up. Like damn, like I'm shaking my head and then I'm like,
whoa,
you know what I mean? Then I gotta catch it again. Like you know what I mean? It's frustrating, definitely frustrating.
Like you hit it on the head. Like Jay Worthy is somebody that I thought 10 years ago I would have never listened to because he's whack as an MC, but he stays in pocket on beat and he doesn't do too much. He lets the production do what the production does. He lets people who write the hooks carry the songs or whatever, and I can respect that more than a Blueface or a Silk the Shocker or a T Greasy, and it's Grizzly. I'm just calling him Greasy. Let me take that back for y'all niggas is googling T Greasy and can't find nobody out there. I think we talk about mythical.
He doing you a favor, motherfuckers. That's what he's doing.
Hey,
don't Google that, motherfucker.
He's got a large fan base, man. I mean, I guess his story is real. I guess he's really out here doing dirt or whatever. And I guess nowadays that carries
weight.
That carries weight, I guess.
That shit was exposed, man.
Oh, so he's not really out there doing it?
Are you serious? This remedial motherfuckers lying?
He caught a charge. I guess he was a student at Michigan State, and in his song, he said he's from Kentucky, but he should have it in Michigan State.
I remember him saying that the one we were listening to.
Yeah. So I don't know the exact details, but I remember hearing it. It was like a theft, like
Are you serious?
a misdemeanor. Like motherfuckers start talking shit because they're like, oh niggas, all this shit you talking, and it was like a slap on the wrist, like.
So he
all over here
time,
thinking
he had the feds after him, and he beat it. I beat a case and came home last month. Or whatever.
Some shit happened on campus.
This motherfucker stole taco snacks or some bullshit, man.
Y'all gotta fact check that, but I'm telling you, that's what I heard. I remember when it came about a couple months ago.
Ain't this
that's
some
crazy.
Bullshit, man.
I wonder if Mike knows that.
He probably does.
He should be able to look all his information up and shit.
Yeah, the database and shit. Yeah, like fuck.
Hey yo, if you listen to Mike, we gotta talk about your boy T Greasy having misdemeanors out here pretending he's Teflon Don.
AKA Aesop's Fables over here and shit, motherfucker.
So let's talk about some real shit, man. Let's talk about a lot of shit surrounding YG right now. Shootout, supposedly with the police. Police officer was injured. Car was registered to YG as YG's vehicle with bulletproof glass. His close associate ends up getting shot. There's some details around that. California is hot again. Summer's back.
Summer, man.
I guess all the Nipsey shit is done. You know what I mean? Once the blue carpet was rolled up that BET Award weekend, motherfuckers got back to
exploit motherfuckers again.
Went back to getting murked, man. So how do these artists navigate that? Especially if you're someone now of YG's, I guess, stature. You're not at a Kendrick level. You're not at a Snoop level. But you're famous in the streets. Like, what do you do to avoid all this dumb shit? Just being able to make music.
You gotta stay away from the hood. I mean, shit. What Slim 400 got too. Shit. So I mean,
right. He was in Compton, I'm assuming, or some shit like that.
So you gotta separate the politics, man, and you need to decide. You know, whether you want to live that lifestyle or you trying to do music. You know, so it's his decision making is what's fucking him up, you know. Because I mean, some silly shit like this, you know. Shit, the officer was hit. I think, from what I understand, I guess it ricocheted off the bulletproof glass.
Well, there's a dude that was killed at the scene.
Mm-hmm.
He was just in the crossfire. He had nothing to do with it.
So innocent bystander.
Innocent bystander was hit, was murdered. Cop was hit, and the other person, I'm assuming, fled the scene because they don't even know who did it.
Yeah.
So at some point, this puts YG in a particular situation. It's your whip. Who had your whip, YG? I don't know.
And he's not telling. So he's gonna be accountable for that shit. So they, you know what I mean? Like they can try to pin it on him. So I hope he got his money up, you know,
I'm
for
sure.
some good defense, you know. But
I'm sure
you gotta separate. You gotta separate yourself if you're trying to be an artist, man, and change your family's fucking lifestyle. You know what I mean? And in wealth standards. So I mean, will he do it? I'm not sure. It's unfortunate, but man, he can't be kicking in the fucking hood. You know what I mean? If anything, take the homies out of the fucking hood.
You know, I heard someone say that at the time of the incident, he's out on tour,
right.
So he definitely wasn't involved. But
of course,
if they have his vehicle, then depending on how solid they are, if they don't say shit, then you know they can question him and he can just deny. But I think it does ratchet up the heat on him because, like you said, a person got killed in the crossfire, and then they ran, and then they fired at the officers, fired at the helicopter. You know what I mean? They was out there on some real video game type shit. You know?
GTA shit.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it regardless, it's gonna bring some heat down on them. It depends on how solid the people are who are actually involved. You know, shooting at an officer and shooting at a helicopter, an old man getting killed at the scene because of crossfire. I just don't really see the nigga who they did catch standing tall. What you gonna do is give his family some money? Sometimes that shit doesn't work. I mean,
right.
Of course, YG, it's his vehicle, but he wasn't there. He wasn't present for any of this shit. Right. But either way it goes, it's bad. It's bad. They always say any publicity is good, but that's, in my opinion, that's not good publicity.
No, it's not at all. And I guess that's a question I always have. What is the allure once you make it past that, the everyday struggle of being stuck in that hood? Why is it that people need to continue to go back and do some of that same shit? You know, you passed it.
Go ahead.
No. And I was gonna ask you because, to be honest, you're probably the only person at this table that's gonna be able to relate in regards to that. Like, what is it that makes someone who's successful, like YG, continue to go back and do some of the same dumb shit that he knows is going to, at some point, possibly cancel out his success or him?
Well, in my opinion, speaking on YG, I feel like with the bulletproof cars and all that shit, if I'm not mistaken, a couple years ago, he got shot a few times at a party or some shit. At the studio. So
yeah.
That's understandable.
Right.
As far as him going back and forth or however that works is, his entire success was built off talking street shit. So, you know, I've said before on here, he's not the sharpest knife in the drawer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he continues to go back and, you know, driving down through the city, I see they got like a 400 car wash on Rosecrans, like big as day. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
like they're still promoting the shit. So, you know, a lot of motherfuckers have never ventured out of the settings they grew up in. So they get success, and the only way they feel, you know, success or feel like someone is to go back home and show their success to the people who they grew up around, which is not a smart thing. And I think it comes with age, maturity. You know, we all went through our little shit, and then sometimes you learn how to do it. You know, sometimes it takes tragedy to do it. You would think with Nip trying to stand tall and be in the hood that you would kind of learn like, damn, you got to move a little bit different. But it just seems like it takes tragedy for that shit has to actually hit home to you for you to
So you truly understand.
to understand that, and especially if you have a bunch of yes men around you. Like, you know what I mean? You got a bunch of yes men around you, then they're not gonna give you the real. You know what I mean? Like, I've heard someone say, I can't even remember who it was, say, when they see YG in the streets or around, he's normal. He's the same attire, dress, gangster, whatever. But then, for promotion wise, this nigga looks like Where's Waldo? He's wearing church shoes and all kind of shit. So it's kind of like
being two different people.
Yeah, you know, this nigga got a little Old Town Road in his ass or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, he looks real, you know, homosexual with his clothing line and the way that he promotes the shit. You know what I mean? Like, I've never seen anybody dressed like that, and he doesn't wear that shit on the day to day, but he's pushing that weird agenda to the masses. You know what I mean? And it's just strange. Like, you got two faces. There's nothing gangster about the way you dressing and shit, looking like Gregory Hines /
like you about to tap
Pee Wee Herman or some shit.
Gregory Herman.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. These kids are lost. There's no direction. You come from being fucking dirt poor. Your people are just gonna support everything you do because they don't want the
money.
They want the money. You know what I mean? So it's I don't know, man. And then on top of that, you know, you got a few chromosomes missing. You know what I mean? So it's just a fucked up cocktail in my opinion.
Yeah, no gatekeepers, no direction. You're right. And you feel I got all this money, I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. And who's gonna tell me anything different? So let me come out here in my fucking bandana tied around my neck like I'm from France, with some church shoes on, and some greaser floods on, you know, with a Pac, what was that? How do you want it? Fucking leather vest on, you know what I mean? But man, it's again, I guess the structure that, again, there is no gatekeepers. There's no one to show you how to invest your money. You know, again, Snoop was on some shit talking. I was watching. He was saying that how Master P was the first one that showed him how to get real money. You know, he admitted, he's like, man, I was around Puff, I was around Suge, I was around all these cats. None of these cats were getting real money. We were getting cars and we were getting jewelry. But, you know, that was it. You know, we didn't have money. And he said when he went to No Limit, that everybody in No Limit had a house, car in their name, you know, bank accounts, everything. He said that Master P was the first one to show him how to get it. He even admitted to that, you know, all the years we talking about Doggy Style, he didn't have a record label. He didn't actually get a record label until he went with Master P. Master P showed him how to set it up. So he was talking all this big shit before going to No Limit, but he didn't really know what to do until P showed him the game. And that's love, man. And I think that is where we as old heads and people who are, of course, in better positions than us as far as industry-wise, people who can be looked at as somebody who, you know, I'm going to go to you for information. I think that's where these old cats need to come in and really be able to show these youngsters how to properly set themselves up, you know, for the future. We might not be able to teach them anything about how to use their social media or how to do this and that, but there is a lot of other gems that I'm pretty sure cats like P can definitely drop on some of these young dudes. So, y'all want to talk about Kawhi before we get out of here? We're about the 50-minute mark. You guys want to get into this? Nothing officially has happened yet. He's still waiting.
He's waiting for Uncle to get my answer.
He's waiting for Uncle Dennis to tell him where he can go. We don't have to talk about where he's gonna go, but I just want to talk to you guys about, we've witnessed a lot in life, and I think this is the first time we've seen someone just kind of hold up a whole entire sport. I mean, you got Laker fans waiting at the phone right now, like the girl that they wanted to dig from 7th grade is about to text them and tell them to go ahead and come through. You know what I mean? I've never seen anything like this, especially from someone who, as a superstar, is so unassuming. Kawhi isn't a me type guy, but he's got everybody stuck right now. So, as you, the former Spurs fan, how do you feel looking at this right now?
I'm glad we moved when we did, because we would have been in this predicament not gained anything out of it. You know what I mean? So
if Kawhi would have got set, say he's in San Antonio, gets another chip. They beat Golden State, end up going to the Western Conference Finals, and they beat whoever's in the East. You wouldn't have been happy with one more chip after,
but then to lose it and not have another superstar, you know what I mean? And him walk away? Nah, I wouldn't sacrifice a chip for that, because we're about winning, and I don't want the franchise to get set back, for 5 to 7 years.
What about the Raptors? Being that this is the first time they've ever tasted any championship glory when it comes to basketball. Do you think it's just kind of, hey, it's the one nigga that gets lucky and hits a dime at the club, and next week he's back to dealing with the twos. I mean, is that the position they're in, where they should just be happy, or?
Yeah. You remember in the 80s they had a movie called Can't Buy Me Love, where the dude bought the girl for the facade and all that type of shit. So he's getting bossed up by all the other chicks because of his popularity. So I mean, it worked in their favor. They knew what the risk was with getting Kawhi, and ultimately they were rewarded, the damn title. So I mean, did they think that was coming? I'm sure that was what's the word I'm looking for? It, like I said, they didn't expect that to happen. You know what I mean? They overachieved. That's the fucking word I'm looking for. They overachieved and got the title.
What about you, Pooh? What do you think about Kawhi having the game on pause?
You know what? He's been a weirdo for a long time, in my opinion. But at the same time, right now, like I'm not mad at him. Like, how often do you actually have the power? And it's not even saying that he's doing it on purpose. Maybe he really just doesn't know what he wants to do yet, as far as what team. Like, do you want to go back to the Raptors and be praised, or do you want to come to LA and be third fiddle on the Bronze squad, or do you want to, play for the Clippers and, what I mean? It's like,
and be a Clipper.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as far as Toronto goes, like, they got a chip, man. Like, as far as my lifetime, they're more relevant than the Knicks and the fucking Clippers and all types of the Utah Jazz.
Even our Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So they won regardless. You know what I mean? Because I would never even thought they would have actually got a ring, but they got one, and maybe someone else would be willing to go there at some point. You know what I mean? Like, there are some NBA players, like, for instance, if DeMar DeRozan would have won that ring with Toronto, he would have stayed. You know what I mean? So there are outliers. There are people who would have done
definitely.
it. You know what I mean? So, as far as the question you have with Simon and the Spurs, like, Tim Duncan retired. They've been set back 20 years. Them niggas ain't winning shit. Point blank, period. No hate sign, but where's it coming from? It's done that. Anyway.
No, don't put us in Chicago shoes, motherfucker.
I mean,
we are still going to the playoffs. We are the winningest franchise in all of, not basketball, not football, all professional fucking sports. And we're still making the fucking playoffs with motherfuckers out for the whole season tearing ACLs. So we re-upped on young talent, and we developing our talent. So
you're still not gonna win. Look, my baby mama gave me head like 5 years ago, but she ain't sucking my dick now.
Yeah.
But no, that's a good point, because
but
is it about winning or is it about championships? I mean, because to your point, like you said, if you win the chip and then Kawhi bounces, then you still have that core of young players who are gonna win playoff games. So is it about the chip, or is it about...
No, because unlike any other organization, we develop our talent, and we got a lot of young fucking talent. So I mean, that's all we got to do is develop our talent. We developed fucking Kawhi. Kawhi is, you know what I mean, is that dude. But he was brought up in our system, not in Chicago, but he was brought up in our system.
But what did Kawhi win without a generational player on the side?
This year, motherfucker.
Who?
Who was a generational player in Toronto?
I'm talking about in San Antonio.
In San Antonio, he was about to take that fucking step because Tim and them walked away. But this little bitch, he walked away from the fucking the damn organization.
But my point is, when y'all did all that winning, you had one of the all-time NBA greats.
And we're still winning. We went to the playoffs with this motherfucker playing 9 games the whole season. The best player in the NBA sits out the whole season. But we go to the playoffs.
That's like getting at a bitch at the club, getting her to the house, cracking jokes with the bitch, and then you don't get no pussy. What's the fucking point? What is the point? You didn't win.
What do you mean? Our player walked the fuck away from us. We had to rebuild.
But you just said y'all did all of that without him, so. But you didn't you still didn't win shit. You still wasn't gonna beat Golden State. You wasn't gonna fucking beat Houston. So, and now you're not gonna beat the fucking Lakers. So
yeah, we are. We're not y'all. We don't give up in fucking October. You know what I mean?
It ain't no giving up. It's like unless y'all really develop a super. I mean, if it was that easy, y'all developed Kawhi Leonard. I'll give you that. But what's the chances of doing it again?
Easy, bro. We got.
If it's easy, why the fuck everybody else ain't doing it?
Because they're stealing all our fucking staff and shit like that. Everybody, shit, the motherfuckers that are winning titles and shit are all brass from our organization. All brass of San Antonio. And they're still getting assistant coaches and all that shit. All brass, everywhere. All your top teams. The best team in the NBA was Milwaukee Bucks. And who's their head coach? Exactly. You don't even know. Somebody Chicago didn't hire. Yeah. But
I can give you a comparison.
But we hired a San Antonio. We hired somebody off the Popovich tree, and we asked because of it.
Who? Hoiberg?
No, Bolin.
Yeah.
I can give you a comparison. That shit reminds me of Bobby Bowden in Florida State football, dominant through the 90s, and then they start plucking assistants off the tree, and eventually the program became shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just can't replace the talent that you lose. Like for instance, Alabama in college football right now is on top of the game, right? But their assistants keep getting head coaching jobs everywhere else. There's no continuity going on, and now the team with the most continuity, Clemson, who pays their assistants like head coaches, there's no one going anywhere. The kids are learning the same scheme year after year after year. Now they're sitting above Alabama. Alabama, in my opinion, is on the way down.
And I think that's a big thing. I think when people discuss sports, when people discuss, players, I think the one thing they always overlook is it's not about the city. Players want to play for the coaches that they like. And especially young kids, college kids,
Now you talking
rookies.
College or professional?
Even in the NBA.
Because nobody want to play for Frank Vogel, but this motherfucker is about to pull the biggest three-headed monster ever assigned in the NBA.
I mean, LeBron is there, so people want to play with LeBron because LeBron is going
that
to.
Statement is
LeBron is but
not
that's
true.
a different situation though, because not everybody has a LeBron James. Not everybody has that. People want to go play for Popovich in San Antonio. Why? Because Popovich is a great fucking basketball
Not everybody,
mind.
because we don't win in free agency. We don't win. Other than Aldridge, what other big name free agent that is a top 15 player that we've ever signed?
Well, but that's not your system. You don't need to go.
But no, everybody wants to play for the coach. Popovich, hands down, other than Phil, is the greatest coach in our generation the last 40 years.
Right.
When's the last time y'all drafted an All-Star?
The last time that we drafted an All-Star?
Kawhi.
It was Kawhi.
They didn't even fucking draft Kawhi.
We did draft Kawhi.
They did? Okay.
Yeah. We traded George Hill for Kawhi.
Yeah. So Kawhi, Ginobili, Tony Parker. So, I mean, they had that run. San Antonio
and DeJounte Murray is going to be an All-Star because he was second team all defensive as a teenager.
San Antonio had a really good run of signing guys no one heard about to be potentially borderline great players. That dropped off, I would say, sometime in 2000. When you guys drafted Kawhi? 2011, 12. They haven't drafted well. Kawhi was like their last.
No, because what we would do.
Really good.
Nah, see, this is how
really
dope we
guy.
are because we don't draft. We don't draft for immediate help. That's how dope we are.
That's how dope you were.
No,
you need that shit now.
That's what we're saying. Like you guys used to draft and be able to.
Well, no, again,
somebody.
Kawhi set us back. With Kawhi setting us back, now we have to.
But
if Kawhi was there, then our draft picks wouldn't be as imperative as they are right now because we got to develop out of LaMarcus Aldridge and fucking DeRozan. You know what I mean? So we got to bring the next level up or the next youngster.
So that's Murray, that's Lonnie Walker. Who else is there?
We got Samanic, the youngster. Samanic.
That's the guy he drafted this year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then we got the kid from Kentucky.
But what happened to the year before? Like, what happened to the guys you were drafting before that?
All right.
What's
it called? Derek White. Derek White, we drafted. He was in the
Colorado,
second year.
Right?
He scored 36 in the playoffs in Denver.
Yeah.
And he was playing in the G League the year before, the majority of the season.
Right.
So to come from the G League and then getting fucking almost 40 points in a fucking playoff game, you know, is pretty fucking.
Shows that he has potential. Something he might have to do on a nightly basis to truly become a superstar.
Or he could just be Jeremy Lin.
Well,
A flash in the pan. There's no
pan.
guarantee with none of that shit.
That's crazy. Jeremy Lin got a ring, and I think he played like 30 seconds in the finals or whatnot. To go from when you're in New York, about opportunity, right? You're in New York, there's nothing else going there but Melo and a bunch of bums, and Linsanity runs wild, to now being this journeyman. It's crazy how that plays out. Like how you just don't know how long the time is.
My point I was making was it's just not guaranteed. Like, don't get me wrong. Look, Kawhi is a generational talent. Tim Duncan was a generational talent. David Robinson was a generational talent. To get another one of those, what are the chances of doing it? Not saying that it can't happen, but I just think it's kind of slim that it'll happen again.
Man, Spurs have some great luck, man. David Robinson, Sean Elliott before he fucked his knee up, Duncan, Ginobili, Tony Parker, right there. That's 5 potential Hall of Famers. Just those 5 right there. We're not talking about adding Robert Horry, which they did because players want to play for coaches. You know what I mean? Those are the things I'm talking about. I'm not talking about them getting superstars, because superstars don't want to go to San Antonio. But dudes who want to win games and play, Bruce Bowens and people like that, who are like, hey, I'll sign with San Antonio. I can go to LA and get some paper. But instead of going to play with the Lakers, I'm going to go play with, I'm going to play with who I feel is the best coach and has the best, organization, team dinners and shit that San Antonio and Popovich does completely different. That I think takes them back to when they were coming up playing college or international youth ball, that camaraderie that you feel around people that you genuinely like, instead of a Bron where it's like, all right, I'll see you at practice, and then I probably will only see you on IG, or you hear some of the other shit that the youngsters were talking about, him not even acknowledging some of these kids in the same room. It was kind of like, oh, that's Bron, the dude we grew up idolizing. Oh, he didn't even talk to us today. You know what I mean? Now he's yelling us at in the game because we're fucking up. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. I just feel like, don't get me wrong, it's top-notch franchise, but like you said, I don't really think people want to go there. I think if y'all get lucky with some Euros, they'll stay. You got them. Or some more cheese grater face niggas like DeRozan that look like Popovich in the face.
Yeah, I mean, we in the driver's seat because it I mean, like I said, with Aldridge,
Papa Bump.
With Aldridge and DeRozan, both of them fall off the cap
I'm just fucking with you.
So we got, we gonna have 60 mil. You know what I mean? So
shit, the Knicks got how many mil?
Knicks will have 60 million as well next year.
And nobody wanted to go fuck with them. I would go to New York over San Antonio any day. I don't give a fuck if it's Popovich or not.
Yeah, but you a Bulls fan. You don't know nothing about winning, so I mean, shit. You're used to taking them L's.
We won 6 rings.
Hey, Al Bundy. Do I need to get the Polk High
jerseys
out?
When the last time y'all won? When the last time y'all won?
2014.
Let's get your Polk High jersey out as well.
2014, 5 years ago.
Nigga, Nipsey had brains back then.
Hey.
Al Bundy, right?
Hey, well, that's still 5 years ago. Shit. Shit. You had man.
That's a long time, 5 years. And when we're talking about sports,
on, you had a hairline the last time fucking Chicago won and shit.
I certainly did. But we also had the greatest player to ever play the game.
And what happened? It took 30 fucking years, and you can't find anybody and shit.
We've had bad luck.
No, there ain't no bad luck.
Rose
y'all just
himself.
suck. Y'all suck.
Y'all
is Lil Nas X at the gay club and shit.
Look, I don't. I'm not really that big on basketball anymore, but. In his prime before he got hurt, I'd take Derrick Rose over Kawhi any fucking day. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, youngest MVP ever.
Mm-hmm. And the youngest Finals MVP to do it younger than the regular season MVP.
Yeah, but he was the third man on that squad. Kawhi didn't carry a team until this year. I'm not going to slander Kawhi. I think Kawhi's one of the best players in the league. But Derrick Rose was elite, special,
star powered.
Powered.
Look, you can't even market Kawhi Leonard. Like, what you gonna do with him?
We're talking about man.
But
We're talking about
a
better athlete.
He's a star. He has no star power. No star quality. Nobody hears the nigga talk. This nigga got Bobby Johnson braids in his head still and shit. What the fuck? Like, Kawhi, he's
working on his game. You know what I mean? Like, man. Kawhi is a player.
And he got pussy in him. This nigga gets hurt all the time.
We talking about Mr. ACL over here and shit.
But that's a
hey, what was the shit y'all was talking about? M. Night Shyamalan, Unbreakable and shit.
Hey, but that's a ligament tear. You can't do anything about that. Kawhi has like fucking
he had a thigh
bruises and shit. This nigga got.
When you talk about Derrick Rose was sitting out games because of what was it, ulcers or some shit like that? Like how you a 22-year-old with ulcers and shit like that?
He had a bad diet. He grew
up a 22-year-old and shit. He 22-year-old, and you talk about Kawhi? Fuck out of here, man. Most motherfuckers taking Tums and shit like that. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro.
I mean, hey.
I'm old as fuck and still don't fuck with Tums.
As winning as y'all franchise is that you say, and the franchise was set up for him to be the next gatekeeper and them develop talent and let him be the man, he didn't want to fucking be there. That says a lot about your franchise.
Yeah.
A lot about y'all.
Yeah.
He was there.
He's not built for us. He's not built for us. We've been in existence for 41 years.
And was relevant for how many?
And how many losing seasons we got?
Does it matter?
Yes, it does.
How
many losing seasons we got, Pooh?
I don't know the history of that boring ass baseball on fucking hardwood shit.
And shit. We've only had 3 losing seasons. Y'all motherfuckers been losing since graduated high school.
How many losing seasons has Utah Jazz had? I'm pretty sure they're just in the same boat as y'all without the title.
Get the fuck out of here.
They're a consistent team. I mean, like for instance,
consistent? Are you crazy?
I mean, if you don't win the title, what does it fucking matter?
Right. And again, San Antonio they had 3 players that played for them for like 15 years plus. That doesn't really happen a lot in this day and age. So they had cornerstone players. So it'll be interesting to see the adjustments that now they have to make, because DeRozan is getting old, Aldridge is getting old. So the next 2 years will be very, very interesting to see what Buford and Popovich can do, this development of this next wave of guys, and then bringing in the guys with the cap money that hopefully you can compete. It'll be very interesting.
But I can tell you this, we going to the playoffs.
What are the chances of y'all having four fucking weirdos on one squad that talented again?
Weirdo.
All them niggas is weirdo. Kawhi weirdo. Tim Duncan weirdo. Ginobili a fucking weirdo. Tony Parker a weirdo.
What?
All weirdos on one team. And you the most shit talking this nigga with the most boring basic ass franchise ever with fucking weirdos on it.
Yeah, just because motherfuckers ain't getting ulcers and shit like that and blowing out their knees and getting rammed by their brother and shit like that. Like, get the fuck out of here. I'd rather be a winning weirdo than a losing Larry and shit, motherfucker.
But y'all not winning anymore.
We fucking went to the playoffs this year.
When Golden State a few years ago put a foot in your ass, it was over.
No, they Jaja fucking blew out fucking Kawhi's fucking hammy and shit. That's what killed the whole. That's what set us back right there.
But he didn't want to be there anyway. That was his way out the fucking door.
That was the beginning of the year.
That was it. Yeah. He wasn't going to stay there. Like you said, you made a good point. 2019 free agency, he would have bounced on y'all anyway. So what's the point?
So let me ask you this: so San Antonio makes the playoffs next year?
Of course.
Okay.
Are you fucking sick? We made the playoffs last year without our point guard.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see. I think there's a lot of young teams that, are going to be great.
What y'all want to put on it, Chicago Bulls fans? I promise my team will have a better record than y'all.
So how many times have we bet and you've lost and haven't come through on
get the fuck
bet?
out of here.
A lot of times.
Tell me once.
Bring
up once. Bring one.
You and Pooh, I think, have at least 3 or 4 bets that never came to fruition.
Me and Pooh, we had the bet last year and Garoppolo blew out his ACL.
This guy hurt himself. Let's back up.
No, I'm not gonna ride that out because Garoppolo blew his fucking knee out in week 1 or 2, or was it preseason?
It was early, but I didn't call it off. You did.
No, of course. I'm not gonna ride.
And if I'm not mistaken, we still beat y'all without Garoppolo.
Y'all finished the same record?
No, it was the same record. Don't get cute, motherfucker.
I'm saying we still beat y'all.
Y'all didn't beat us.
Didn't we beat the Raiders last year?
No, we ain't played.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, we didn't play the West. Or you know what? No, you know what?
I don't know.
No, because we played the Rams. So you know what?
Yeah, I think y'all did lose like 13 to.
I think Mullins.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. It was a Monday night game. You had the little Native American looking dude who came out there and ate up the Raiders. I remember that. Yes. But shit, let's go ahead. Let's wrap this up, fellas. We'll come back. We got a lot of other shit to talk about in another episode. We're gonna go ahead and call it a night here.
The sports should get heated. You know,
Yeah,
we're gonna talk some major shit.
We got footballs coming up, NFL, college. So we're definitely gonna drop we're gonna do a sports episode because there's a lot to talk, and people haven't really heard us get in and talk about sports. But I just want to thank you for checking out an honest conversation about hip hop tonight. And as always, again, you can check us out on Facebook and you can check us out on Libsyn. Big shout outs to everyone again who's holding us down, supporting us. We appreciate y'all. Find us on Facebook, An Honest Conversation About Hip Hop. Google us, An Honest Conversation About Hip Hop. We always in the mix. And we're here to give you that real. So until next time, we will see you when we see your family. Again, thanks for rocking with us. Peace.
Peace.